Ray diagrams. Ray diagram is a pictorial representation used to trace the path of ray of light. So these are the rays of light. So we trace the path of ray of light with the help of ray diagram. So with the help of picture, we clearly come to know which is the incident ray, which is the reflected ray, then which is the object, which is the image, where is the object form, where is the image form, what type of mirror we are using, whether it is a spherical, whether it is a concave mirror or whether it is a convex mirror. So with the help of ray diagram, we can determine the nature of the image, the position of the image and the size of image. In this case, we know where the object is kept, that is, we know the position of the object relative to the mirror. So with the help of position of the object that is known to us, we can determine the position of the image as well as the nature of the image and the size of the image. So a ray diagram is a specialized pictorial representation used to trace the path of a ray of light. Let us study a very important topic: rules for drawing ray diagrams for formation of image by spherical mirrors. Now children, if we consider an object, infinite number of rays travel in all directions from the object. But if I want to find out the exact position of the image and the nature of the image which is formed because of reflection from a spherical mirror by drawing a ray diagram, then we need to consider at least two rays which are incident on the mirror and which are starting from the object. So any two rays which are starting from the object are taken as the convenient incident rays for drawing the ray diagrams. So let us study the rules for drawing the ray diagram one by one. Let us see the rules for drawing ray diagrams for both concave and convex mirrors, but you will be asked to write down rules for drawing ray diagrams for concave mirrors, but we must know rules for drawing ray diagrams for both concave as well as convex mirrors. So I am showing you both for concave as well as convex mirror. Now the rule says that if I take a concave mirror, so suppose this is a concave mirror where the outer surface will be silvered and the inner surface will be the reflecting surface. तो ये साइड से सिल्वर अप्लाई किया है तो ये साइड से रिफ्लेक्शन होगा. तो रूल क्या बोलता है कि now okay, let me first mark the pole of the mirror and from the pole I am going to take equal distance and mark the focus and the center of curvature. Okay, focus and center of curvature will be at equal distance. So suppose I am taking 1 centimeter equal distance. So this will be the focus and this will be the center of curvature. So rule 1 says that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, here this is an incident ray, if it is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of the mirror. Understood? If the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of the mirror for a concave mirror. If it is a convex mirror, so in case of a convex mirror, the outer surface is the reflecting surface, inner surface is silvered. So in that case, the center of curvature and the focus will be on the other side, that is behind the mirror. So once again, if I am taking equal distance of maybe 1 centimeter behind the mirror, so this will be focus and this will be center of curvature. So if I take an incident ray which will be parallel to the principal axis of a convex mirror, then the reflected ray will diverge in case of a convex mirror, isn't it? So the reflected ray will diverge like this. So the reflected ray, it will appear to diverge, but it will appear to diverge from the focus. So if I am extending this reflected ray, it will pass through the focus of the convex mirror. So if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray appears to diverge from the focus of a convex mirror. when it is extended backwards. So the first rule says that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of a concave mirror. For convex mirror, if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray appears to diverge from the focus of the convex mirror when it is extended backwards. So the first rule says that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of the concave mirror. If it is a convex mirror, if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray appears to diverge from the focus of a convex mirror when it is extended backwards. Rule 2 says that if the incident ray passes through the focus of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Okay, I have drawn a concave mirror. I have drawn the principal axis. This is the pole. At an equal distance, take focus. At an equal distance, take center of curvature. So if the incident ray passes through the focus of the concave mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. In case of convex mirror, if the incident ray is directed towards the focus of the concave mirror, here incident ray is directed. This is your incident ray. It is directed towards the focus of the convex mirror. Then this is your incident ray. Then what will happen to the reflected ray? Then we find that the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. So what is the second rule for drawing ray diagram for a concave mirror? If the incident ray passes through the focus of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Rule 2 for convex mirror, if the incident ray is directed towards the focus of a convex mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Rule 2 for concave mirror is, if the incident ray passes through the focus of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. For convex mirror, if the incident ray is directed towards the focus of a convex mirror, then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Rule number 3 for concave mirror is that if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature, then the reflected ray will trace back the same path. That is like this. So this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. So the third rule is saying that if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray will trace back the same path. That is, the reflected ray will not get deviated, it will not pass through the focus, it will not be parallel, but it will trace back the same path. Similarly, if the incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature of a convex mirror, so this is your incident ray for a convex mirror, and this incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature of a convex mirror. So this is your incident ray. Then the reflected ray will trace back the same path. So what is rule number 3? In case of concave mirror, if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray will trace back the same path. For convex mirror, if the incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature of a convex mirror, then the reflected ray will trace back the same path. So we are studying 3 rules. Out of these 3 rules, we are going to make use of 2 rules when we start drawing the ray diagrams. The third rule states that if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature of a concave mirror, then the reflected ray traces back the same path. For convex mirror, if the incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature of a convex mirror, the reflected ray traces back the same path. Let us begin with the ray diagrams. We'll begin with ray diagram for formation of image by concave mirror. Okay, so I have drawn a concave mirror. In a concave mirror, the inner surface is the reflecting surface. I have drawn a straight line which is passing through the center of the surface of the spherical mirror, which is called as a pole, at an equal distance of 1.5 centimeter from the pole. 1.5 centimeter I have taken, which is the focus, and again from focus 1.5 centimeter I have taken, which is center of curvature. You just have to keep in mind that this distance FP and CP should be equal. If you take 1 centimeter, this should be 1 centimeter. 1.5 centimeter, this should be 1.5 centimeter. Now when ray diagrams are to be drawn, then conditions are given to you. What condition? The position of the object is given to you. For example, here object is kept at infinity. Infinity means a very, very far away point where I cannot see the object. But definitely the object is somewhere very far away from the mirror, but not in the vicinity of the mirror. So in that case, since I do not know where the object is, so I will draw a ray of light which will start from a very far away object, and that ray of light will fall on the mirror. So this is the incident ray which is coming from the object. It is parallel to the principal axis and it is falling on the mirror. So if you remember, the first rule was, if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of the mirror. I am going to show another incident ray of light which is coming from infinity, that is from a very far off object. It is parallel to the principal axis and it is falling on the mirror. So again, as per the law of reflection, as per the rule, the reflected ray will pass through the focus. Please remember, sorry, the direction of arrow is wrong because the ray is going like this. So this is the direction of ray of light. So whenever you are drawing ray diagrams, you need to show the arrow marks, otherwise you will lose marks. Okay, now you find that both the reflected rays are meeting at point F. That means this is the place where the image is formed. So this is how the ray diagrams are drawn. We show two incident rays, and when these two incident rays they get reflected, the point of intersection of the two reflected rays is the place where the image formation takes place. Now once the diagram is drawn, then we have to write down the description of the image. So in that, first we write down the position of the object. Position of the object. The object in this case is kept at infinity. So position of object is at infinity. Then we write down the position of image. Where is the image formed? The image is formed at focus. So at F, capital F. Nature of image has to be written. Nature of image. In nature of image, we have to mention whether the image is real or virtual and whether it is erect or inverted. So what is a real image? When the reflected rays actually meet at a point, then the image is a real image. So here the reflected rays are actually meeting at a point, so it's a real image. We also have to mention under nature of image whether the image is erect or inverted. Erect यानी सीधा image, inverted यानी उल्टा image. Now in concave mirror, whenever a real image is formed, the image is an inverted image. So it will be real and inverted. And under size of image, I will have to write whether the image is small, big, or it is of the same size. Now object is very far, that means it is very big. But the image formed is a dot size image. That means the image is diminished. Just not diminished, it is a highly diminished image. So size of the image is highly diminished. So ray diagrams carry 2 marks. We give 2 marks for drawing the ray diagram and 1 mark for writing down the description. Let us take the second ray diagram. In the second diagram, the object is kept beyond the center of curvature. So I have drawn a concave mirror. This is the principal axis, pole of the mirror. At a distance of 1.5 centimeter, I have taken focus, and again at a distance of 1.5 centimeter, I have taken center of curvature. Now the position of the object is specified very, very clearly. It is beyond center of curvature. So my object will be an arrow mark like this. I am going to take 2 points on the arrow. This is point A and this is point B. There are many points between A and B, but I have selected 2 points on this object A and B. Now to begin with the ray diagram, we will take up the first rule, that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the focus of the concave mirror. Okay, so I have shown one incident ray starting from point A and I have taken up the first rule. The second rule says that if the incident ray passes through the focus of the mirror, or else I'll take the third rule, that if the incident ray is passing through the center of curvature of the mirror. So I'm going to draw a little bit bigger mirror because the mirror is small. Okay, so if the incident ray starts from point A and it passes through the center of curvature of the mirror, then we find that the reflected ray will take back the same path. Okay, now see, this is your incident ray, this is the reflected ray, this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. This reflected ray and this reflected ray are meeting at this particular point. That means this is the point where the image is formed, and the image formed will be ulta, that is, it will be an inverted image. What does it mean? That the image, that is the object was AB, since the image is ulta, so this will be the reflection of point A dash, and this point will be reflection of point B, which will be B dash. Now in order to describe the image, we will first write down the position of the object. The position of the object. The object is beyond center of curvature. So where is the object? Beyond C. What is the position of the image? Position of image is between C and F, that is between center of curvature and focus. So between C and F. Nature of image. The image formed is real because reflected rays actually meet at a point. It is erect or inverted. It is inverted with respect to the object. So image is real and inverted. And size of the image, if you see, size of the image, you see the object AB is bigger, whereas the image A dash B dash is smaller than the object. That means the image will be diminished.